Hi folks, I have your latest home prices and insights for Vaughan and Richmond Hill for week ending March 24th. I'm going to talk about detached properties. I'm going to talk about condo properties. So let's get right into it. My name is Santos Sessa with Remax Premier. I'm a full-time realtor. Everybody on our team, Team Sessa, we're all full-time realtors. If we can help you with anything, let us know. Hit the subscribe button, share this video, hit the bell button so you're reminded when these come out. We really appreciate it. And comment below. There's a lot of things we're talking about here. We love to hear the different opinions that are out there. Okay, so we're talking about Vaughan, detached properties. Sales went up. We sold 96 detached properties last week. Sales are supposed to be going up. As we head into the spring market, sales tend to pick up as the weather starts to warm up, and we've had some beautiful days lately. Sales go up. The amount of properties sold at $2 million or more is sitting at 17, which is up slightly from the previous week. Average sold price, which is really, I'm surprised it dropped down as much as it did, but average sold price is sitting at $1,615,000, which is down quite a bit from where we were the previous week. But if we look at the trend, apart from this drop here, average sold price looks like it's been going up overall over a span of time. Average sold price is up, and $1,615,000 is much higher than it's been over the previous 7 months. So let's see what happens over the next few weeks. Sometimes it's a matter of the combination of which homes were sold that brings the average sold price down, and then it tends to bounce back again. So on a lot of these videos, when I talk about comparing to last year, I've been saying this time last year we started our very first lockdown, and everything changed. Sales went down, average sold price dropped, everything changed. But so the blue is last year's. When it comes to Vaughan, last year's average sold price was actually going up at this time. This year we dropped for this week, but last year we sold only 2 properties at $1 million, at $2 million or more. This year, at the same week, we sold 17. It is a big contrast there. Looking at sales, here's where we see the effect of the first lockdown last year. Again, the blue, that's last year's sales numbers. So we just started the first week of lockdown. On this week, it was our first full week of the lockdown last year, and you could see just sales plummeting very quickly, where this year, sales are going up. And of these 96, 68% sold at list price or more. And I've been active with buyers in the Vaughan market looking to buy, and it's a challenge. You really got to get strategic in what you do, and you really got to plan things out. You really need to have a good realtor on your side. I keep saying that. And there's lots of realtors out there, lots of good ones, lots of them not so good. So make sure you interview people and you feel comfortable with who you're working with. Listings have been steady for the last few weeks. Last week we listed 143 detached properties, and months of inventory has dropped down to 0.6. And this is, I look at this, we're sitting at 0.9 months of inventory. We're down to 0.6. Average sold price should have gone up, or at the very least stayed about the same. But sometimes there is a delay, so over the next week or so, we're going to see how this month of inventory affects price. I expect it to go up. I'm surprised that it is where it is right now. Many times it's just a combination. Well, average is a combination of the properties that were sold, but I'm having a tough time explaining why. But I can see that a combination of the lower end, the lower price properties between 1.5 and 1 million. It was a lot more of those sold in Vaughan this week than the previous weeks. Looking at Richmond Hill, sales are up. We sold 70 detached properties in Richmond Hill. 18 of those were at $2 million or more. The average sold price is way up from last week, sitting at $1,840,000. Now the average sold price for Richmond Hill have been on a steady climb for several weeks now. And I'm monitoring here how many properties sold at $2 million or more, when the average sold price is more than 1.8, I kind of got to maybe rethink that and maybe start looking at properties that sold at $3 million or more, because $2 million is pretty close to the average sold price already. Compared to last year, well, remember, we were just starting the lockdown, but it's a little bit hard to understand that at this time last year, Toronto was going down in prices, but Vaughan, York Region in general, prices were still on the upswing. But we only sold two properties at $2 million or more last year at this week. This year we sold 18. Sales are up here for detached. Of the 70 that were sold, 61% were sold at list price or more. So there's lots of multiple offers, lots of activity there. 107 listings compared to last year. Now, again, we started the lockdown and everything just contracted last year. This year, we're seeing an uptick in sales, but we're not seeing so much an uptick in the amount of listings, and that keeps inventory tight, and that's why months of inventory is dropping. We're sitting at 0.9 from 1.3, 1.1, now sitting at 0.9. Average sold price is going up week after week. Let's look at the condo market. Again, just a reminder, subscribe below and hit the bell button, please, and share the video with anyone who you feel can benefit from this kind of information. So we're looking at the condo market. We sold 29 condos in Vaughan last week, a little bit lower than the previous few weeks. And average sold price came down slightly to $630,000. Overall, average sold price is going up slightly over a span of a few months, but for last week it dropped just a little bit. When we look at last year, average sold price for condos was coming down, and if you recall the news as we're in our lockdown, man, condos really took a beating, and it's starting over here, but we're just a little bit higher than where we were last year at this time. Of the 29 that were sold, 66% sold at list price or more. So the market is not depressed. We just don't have a lot of activity. There's only 29 sales, but 2/3 of those sold at list price or more. So you're competing, and listings are down. So sales are down slightly, listings are down slightly, but months of inventory is sitting at 0.6. As long as months of inventory is this slow here, 0.6, 0.7, average sold price is going to stay around the same. If not, it'll go up also. Looking at Richmond Hill, we've been, for the last, looks like here, 4 or 5 weeks, we're at 20 sales every single week. The previous week we went to 18, but we're back to 20 now. Average sold price came down a little bit to $570,000. And compared to last year, we're pretty close to where we were last year at this time. Last year, though, we sold a lot less at this time. And remember, we're contract sales, price, everything just shrunk last year as we're into the lockdown. But of these 20, almost all of them, 90% sold at list price or more. So even though there's only 20 sales, you're competing for almost every single condo that's being sold in Richmond Hill. Listings stayed about the same as they were last year, and months of inventory is sitting at 0.3. There's not much stock of condos in Richmond Hill. If you're looking to buy a condo in Richmond Hill or Vaughan or anywhere in the GTA, it's not a depressed market. It is generally on the upswing. You're competing, and depending on the kind of condo you're going to buy, you're going to be involved in almost every time. You're going to be involved in a multiple offer situation, or you're going to pay asking price or more right away as soon as the condos come on the market. So the market is very tight, very strong. Prices are strong. That's the report for week ending March 24th. My name is Santos Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. I run a family real estate business called Team Sessa. We're all full-time realtors. If we can help you in buying and selling, please give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Have a great day.